hold on. We're gonna talk about the Voting Rights Act. If you don't know what just got what just happened with the Voting Rights Act, don't worry, I got y'all. If I could fucking pull up. Instagram is so fucking shit, bro. Let's talk about this. I found it. Let's find it. It's the last thing we're gonna talk about. I'm tired as fuck. I'm hot. The Voting Rights Act got gutted the other day. Somebody, hold on, let me think for a second. Because I'm pretty sure what got gutted was obviously the Voting Rights Act was something put in place because these niggas is racist. And they put it in place back in, I want to say, hold on, I don't want to fuck the thing up. When they put it in, chat, we're so fucked. I'm typing in VRC. I'm typing in 65. Thank you. I'm typing in VRC. We're so fucked. I'm typing in VRC and it's saying fucking VR chat. I'm like, we're over. It's over with. They put it in 65, right? Prohibiting racial discrimination in voting and outlawing the literacy test, right? Right. Along with this act, though, is a bunch of shit to basically, in layman's terms, it's a bunch of shit to say, we not gonna be racist no more. We gonna let y'all niggas vote. Civil rights shit. W. Right? The other day, they gut the Voting Rights Act, right? They gutted half of it, and then they gutted some more of it, right? Basically allowing states to redistrict these southern states so that there's basically no like black representation in these. Here, I'm gonna pull up a map. Hold on. Yeah, right? So this is exactly what I want to see. This is obviously the South, nigga, right? This is where most black people in the entire United States live, in the South. And they basically just gutted the act, meaning what this means is you'd think on paper, since most of the black voter pool lives in the South, you'd think that they'd have, like, I wouldn't say a majority, because obviously there's more white people, but you'd think that there'd be a majority of people that if they're voting there, especially if they're voting Democrat, because why would the fuck would they be voting Republican? You'd think that, like, they gonna have, fair representation considering most of the black population is still living in the South. Here, I'm gonna read this thing, though, right? Because this was the shit that I learned today. JJ learned it, right? Because obviously people are like, well, how did they overturn this shit? The Supreme Court stacked, obviously, in the Republicans' favor via Donald Trump, via his first term. We like to talk about how, well, the first time it wasn't that bad. The first time it was that fucking bad. Y'all niggas just wasn't fucking paying attention. He stacked the courts, right? They voted on this thing and they got it overturned. Let's go through why they did, though. This shit blew me, right? Sam Alito's Voting Rights Act ruling cited misleading data from the DOJ, right? The Department of Justice, right? Let's read this. The claims Sam Alito, Supreme Court Justice, made about voter turnout in Louisiana in a landmark Voter Rights Act case were based on misleading data analysis a Gardner review has found, right? In his opinion, gutting Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act last week, Alito said that black voter turnout had... Okay, listen, we're gonna slow it down because y'all know me. I'm not a super political nigga, but we're gonna slow it down so niggas understand this. Because when I understood it, it was fucking crazy. Alito said that black voter turnout had exceeded white voter turnout in 2 of the 5 most recent presidential elections, both nationally and in Louisiana. Alito's claim was copied almost verbatim from a friend of the court brief filed by the Justice Department. It was a critical data point Alito used to make the argument that the kind of discrimination that once made the Voting Rights Act necessary no longer exists. Basically, what this nigga just said was, because black people in 2 of the last 5 elections, nationally and in Louisiana, because black people outvoted white people, racism don't exist. That's his claim. Let's keep going. Vast social change. This is what he said. Vast social change has occurred throughout the country, and particularly in the South, where many Section 2 suits arise. Mind you, putting this out there, a nigga just got hung literally 3 months ago in the South. They labeled it a suicide. Multiple niggas got hung literally, I think back in January or December or some shit like that. But I digress. Alito wrote in a majority opinion in the case, which concerned Louisiana's congressional map, joined by the 5 other conservative justices on the court, black voters now participate in elections at similar rates as the rest of the electorate, even turning out at higher rates than white voters in 2 of the 5 most recent presidential elections nationwide and in Louisiana. Now, if you black, some ain't adding up. The first thing I could think of was, what? Nigga, black people are 13% of the population. That don't even make sense, right? What? How? How could we possibly outvote white people? Let's keep going though. But a review of turnout and racial data in Louisiana reveals that assertion relies on an unusual methodology. The Justice Department briefed that Alito cited calculated black and white voter turnout in Louisiana as a proportion of the total population of each racial group over the age of 18. What does that mean? That means this bitch ass nigga on the Supreme Court said, black people are 13% of the population. Let's just say, I don't have the numbers on my hand, right? But let's just say 10% of the 13% voted, right? He's saying as a proportion, black people outvoted white people. Let's say the other 70%, let's say it was 55% of white people voted. He's saying as a proportion, black people outvoted white people. And it gets worse because the voter pool he's talking about is not registered voters. It's every person over the age of 18 that is black or white. That includes people who have felons that cannot vote. That's odd. Why wouldn't you just take the proportion of black voters? People registered to vote. We have those numbers. Not only does it felons, he includes that, but also people over the age of 18, even people that are black and are not registered to vote. Such an approach is not preferred by experts in calculating statewide turnout because the general over 18 population may include non-citizens, people with felony convictions, and others who cannot legally vote. But it does yield Alito's conclusion that black voter turnout exceeded white voter turnout in when? Here's the grand thing. Remember he said in 2 of these elections, black voters outdid white voters. You want to know the 2 elections in the last 5? 2012 and 2016. Who got fucking elected in 2012, my nigga? Who got voted in this bitch in 2012? Anybody? Take a gander. Take a guess. The only black fucking president we've ever had. The only nigga we done ever had in this bitch. So we gonna cap it again. So his claim is there's no more racism in the South because black people came out and voted for Obama in 2012 and tried to vote against Trump in 2016. Therefore, we can gut the Voting Rights Act because we don't need it anymore because there's been vast socioeconomic change. So here's the numbers. Because let's talk about the vast change. And this was even more mind-blowing. I'm gonna zoom this in. This was even more mind-blowing because he used the data like he said and found that black voter turnout was more than white voter turnout in these two elections. You want to know how much by? Because he took all adults over the age of 18. You want to know how much black voters beat out white voters? By 0.1%. Even though we are including felonies, we're including felony convictions that don't allow you to vote, we're including people that are not registered to vote, and we're including people who are here and undocumented or non-citizens. With all of that, we beat white voters by 0.1%, dog. That's what just got the Voting Rights Act gutted again. 0.1% was enough for these niggas to say, yeah, racism don't exist. 0.1% was 0.1%. It was enough for this nigga to conclude that racism does not exist in the South anymore. And that's why we just cut the Voting Rights Act. Reset, when he said outvoted, he means black people voted more than white people. He means black people voting more, proportionally voting more than white people. Proportionately. Meaning, out of our 13% of the population, more black people out of the 13% of the population voted than more white people out of the 70% of the population. Which also still don't make no fuck ass sense. But let's continue, because then they have more charts. Let's see the charts. Let's see the charts. Let's see the charts. Let's see the charts. Nationally, black voter turnout was lower than white turnout in the 3 most recent general elections. The election that this nigga that the Republicans on the Supreme Court just gutted the Voting Rights Act for was this 2012 election. Here is the data though. After 2012, and then also Shelby County, this was 2013, the Shelby County versus Holder Restriction Voting Rights Act, right? After 2013, though, black voters are here, white voters are here in 2016, black voters are here in 2020, white voters are here in 2020, black voters are here in 2024, and black and white voters are here in 67. Notice the drop as well. Yes. Hold on. Notice the massive drop after they overturned Shelby County. Notice it. Cause I must be fucking stupid. The DOJ approach is misleading because they're including ineligible voters in the denominator, said Michael McDonald. Who's Michael McDonald? A political scientist, a political science professor at the University of Florida, who is one of the nation's leading experts on voter turnout. He said verbatim, if I wanted to manipulate the numbers in a way that was favorable for the government or to the government's interests, I would be using voting age population. The leading expert said that. They're using a lot of intentional language across the board like that. Yes, they do this all the time in the justice system. What does that even mean? What does what mean? What he said? What this means is, Babe Bubbles, what this means is the expert, the nigga who studied voter turnout, the expert of it, has said if he wanted to mislead people, he would use the data that the Supreme Court justices use. Meaning what? Meaning the Supreme Court justices that were appointed by Trump use this data to gut this act, and they know it's misleading. They just know it's a loophole. They know they can get around with enough of the American public, and especially white people, saying, well, the data's there, and not actually looking into how the fuck are you going to include everybody that is black over the age of 18. Also, hey guys, real quick here. Proportionately, since we're talking proportionately, Who's incarcerated the most in this country proportionately to how much the population is? Take a guess. Proportionately. Take a guess. Who could possibly be incarcerated the most? Niggas. Black people. So you take it in you. So for this statistic that you used to gut the Voting Rights Act, you took the entire population of people over 18, including people with felony convictions that cannot vote, and said, yeah, they outvoted them when Obama was president. Racism don't exist. Go to fucking hell is right. The entire Supreme Court needs to be restructured, dismantled, and fucking restructured. If we make it out of this bitch alive, the entire Supreme Court needs to be dismantled and fucking restructured. Period. Yeah, I'm gonna put this whole shit on YouTube. I'm gonna put this whole shit on YouTube. Shout out my nigga Gabo. I could not fucking believe this shit when I fucking read it today. Because obviously, as black people, we know the shit, fool. We know y'all niggas just being racist. But this is how they get away with this type of shit and throw rocks, hide their hands, and say, I'm not racist. In fact, racism don't exist. We had a black president and y'all voted for him. Even though they took misleading data from the DOJ. And this is Guardian, according to the Guardian. According to the Guardian, which the Guardian's not even based in America. I'm pretty sure the Guardian is based in the UK. Meaning it's much more unbiased than like an American XYZ. The Guardian is widely considered a highly reliable mainstream news source known for quality investigative journalism and high factual reporting standards. And I'm going to read this part too. While reputable, it holds a left-leaning editorial bias, making it best for fact-based reporting with a progressive perspective. This your fucking AI overview that did that shit, nigga. Based in the UK as well. This is how you do proper racism. It's so quiet that it becomes perfect. No, this is how they've always done it. We need to kill all these niggas. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. God damn. I didn't even know that. God damn. In GTA. Why am I telling y'all this? Am I telling y'all this so y'all can be sad, so y'all can be shitty? No, I'm telling y'all this to light a fire under your ass, under your parents' ass, under your family's ass, whatever you have to do. Niggas have to do something. All my people in the South, we have to do something. Something. They just dismantled black voter districts. Meaning, regardless of where you vote, regardless of how many black people come out and vote, there is a good chance in Louisiana, in Georgia, in Florida, in Virginia, there is a good chance that it's still going to go to a Republican because they illegally gerrymandered these states. They illegally did it. Matt, Virginia gerrymandered too. Virginia did it after passing a vote. We conveniently forget the first place to do it was fucking Texas illegally. They just did it. Gerrymandering, meaning redrawing the districts, is only supposed to happen every 10 years during a census. They did it in 2025 so they don't lose the midterms. The midterms are going to be rigged. So my question for people it is May. It's May 9th. June, July, August, September, October, November. We got 7 months to figure out something. Because they will rig it like they are doing right fucking now. Baby boy, come here. That's all I gotta say, dog. That's all I gotta say, dog. Shout out my little nigga.